welcome to our Germs program. I hope everybody came ready to make some germs today. I know that sounds kind of gross, but we're going to make this a fun one. So my name is Kristen, for those of you that don't know me, and I am a children's librarian here at the Half Hollow Hills Library. So to get started, we are going to need a bowl to mix everything in. You will need a half cup and a quarter teaspoon. We are also going to need a spoon to mix everything with, some salt, 1 cup of water, some flour. I keep it in this bag because flour makes a big old mess, and Q-tips. Okay, I'll show you what we're going to do with these later. Just a handful, however many you want of the Q-tips, doesn't really matter. So take your flour, and we are going to use our half cup. So get a half a cup of flour, dig right in there. Try to make sure it's smooth on the top. And I'm going to pour that right in our bowl. Next, we are going to mix the salt. So you need your quarter of a teaspoon, and whatever salt you have at home, doesn't matter. And measure that out. Okay, dump that in. Set that off to the side, and let's just mix that up with our spoon to start. Okay, next you're going to take your 1 cup of water, and we're going to slowly start to pour that in, just a little bit at a time, and then stir it, because you don't want it to be too wet or too dry. We're going to try to make a dough consistency so that we can make this into a ball. So see, now that I've stirred it, it's getting a little bit thicker now. So I can add a little bit more, because what you can do is you can always add, but you can't take it out. So if you put too much and it gets too wet, you can't take the water out. But what you could do is add more flour at that time if you needed to. All right, so mine's pretty good now. I'm going to set that off to the side. So the next thing we're going to do now is grab our Q-tips. So you can do one of two things. You can either use a scissor. We're going to want them to be in half. So you can use a scissor and either just cut them, or we can just bend them. So depending what type you have, I have the kind that has the cardboard, so they break in half very easily. If you have the ones that are now like plastic in between the 2 cotton tips, you'll probably need to cut them. So let's just go ahead and half. There we go. And don't worry, they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be pretty. Going to be going into our dough bowl anyway. So I'll do it for more. So inevitably what this is going to be is our dough bowl is going to be our virus, and the Q-tips are going to serve as the germs. and you will see how easily the germs get stuck to the virus ball. And unfortunately, that's how our germs get spread. And if you leave your germ ball to sit for a few days, it'll go from this damp texture that it is now, and it will harden. So what we're going to do in our step 2 is talk about how we can keep germs away. And it's so super simple, but we already know the answer. And if you do, that's terrific, because it means you're doing the right thing. All right, so let's go ahead and check on that dough ball, aka our virus ball, also known as. All right, let's see. I think I need more flour. Still too sticky. How about you guys? Does yours look like mine? Yeah, I need that to get a little drier so that I can roll it up. Right now it's a little bit too sticky. And just add your flour a little bit at a time. Okay, there we go. And let's stir that up again. Much better, see? Hopefully you can see that as I stir it up. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I don't know if any of you have this problem, but I should have done this before. I'm going to take my rings off because they're going to get real messy. Okay. So go ahead. Pick up that dough ball and let's roll it around. Plain slime. I might have to add a little more flour. It's just too sticky for me to do that now. I still have some flour left in my bowl here, so I'm going to just mix that up and see if that will do the trick. Okay, get that spoon in there. Jeez, I guess this really is like how germs are inside your body. It's sticky, and they stick to you. Let's add more flour. Let's see if I can get some of this off my hands. It's fun to play with, though. I think my kids would love this. I hope you guys are having fun with this, too. All right, let me get that flour over here. And let's go ahead. Alright, plenty of flour in there now. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to give this another try. And I can always continue to mix it if I need it. See? I can tell already this is much better because it's rolling and giving me that nice round shape that I want without completely sticking to my fingers. So another trick that you could probably try also is if you want to put a little bit of flour on a plate and dip your hands into the flour, it'll help it from not sticking to your hands. So, see, it's a much better consistency. All right, so now that I have my bowl all ready to work with, this is our virus. Gross, 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 right? And what happens is you have this here, right? And here's your germs, right? We're gonna just poke our Q-tips into the virus, all over the virus. And this is how germs stick. So you can put as many of these Q-tips in there as you want. See our germ all done. Okay, well, I don't like the germs, so I'm gonna stop. But this is what it would look like. So now, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to leave this on the counter, the dough will harden, and then you'll have your real virus, hardened virus. Okay, so don't mind my hands. Yours probably look like that as well. So let's see our next step. So I mentioned getting rid of the virus. How do you think we can get rid of the virus? What's a good way to not spread germs? We can wash our hands. Now when we're not able to, I'm gonna just pretend I'm washing my hands here and I'm gonna actually roll off this stuff. But when we're not able to get to some soap and a sink, I know a popular option is the hand sanitizers as well. So that's a good step for in between, but you know, whenever possible, washing those hands, sing your ABCs nice and slow, wash your hands for about a good 20 seconds, get that soap all in there, just like as if you were washing like this. Get in between the fingers, the backs of your hands, the front, even maybe up to your wrists a little bit. Do that in some nice warm water, and a good little handful of soap. And that's the best way to try and fight germs. Keep clean and stay healthy. All right? So I hope you enjoyed making a little bit of a mess with us today. It was fun, and have a great day. Stay healthy.